You know we be with it, we off in the hood like some wizards. Nobody ever gave us anything. Meant something from nothing, just like magicians. Gotta relearn everything. Just to remember that I was forgetting. Just to remember that we had a vision. Did it all, don't know how I did it. Time to go start season to go and you know those crystal truths. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Let them know we in here, yeah, we in the building. Start season to go and you know those crystal children. Back up in the matrix, yeah, we know the vision. Off on the mission, you know how it goes. Off in the system, they turn up their nose. They took all the soil, but they didn't know. Through the concrete, you see the ropes. Eyes ain't open, don't mean I ain't woke. Ain't got no cash, don't mean that I'm broke.
Eloko ut sendata elotok ut anase ererishi shinototione ki ushinatai shiluku nane ushin shino no lok te shinete ishishonotokua. Welcome in to your knowing. We have all learned so much, but there's still more. It will never end. It will always be a flowing fountain. And then you get to create the path, the adventure. Your oversoul or your higher soul chose the topic, whatever it may be. It could be destiny. It said, this is the topic I want to embrace. And then body, mind, and soul with free will gets to create it. The good and the bad, the indifferent and the different. We get to create it. The happy and the sad. The joy and the pain. It's all a creation. Ra is not sharing something with you that you don't already know. You just don't recall it. We're here for the recalling. Every time a higher being wakes up into its physical body and conscious, aware mind, it wakes up to recall and then help others recall. Not make decisions for them. Not tell them what's good and bad. Not give them a pre-made plan, just to say, here, this is to recall where you came from and why you're on this journey. Now go create. I'm excited. I'm excited for that. It may not be easy. I don't feel from my higher being. I don't know what your higher being is telling you, that easy was supposed to be the whole premise of coming here. I think having the journey, having the feelings and having the emotions, being able to choose between the free will of polarity, whether it's positive or negative, was the whole premise that the divine, it's the expressions of the divine, wanted to see what we would give it, or them, or him or her, whatever you choose. And this is what Ra is saying. Ra is giving you the best information possible that a sixth density being can give you. Because they already been there and done that for them. But it doesn't mean it has to be an actual depiction of what it needs to be for you. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you have a question, ask. Like Marcus is always saying, ask. Ask the question in the comments. And through us, the them that is Ra, the they that is Ra, the he, she, it that is Ra, the divine that is Ra, will help you with the answer. One size does not fit all. Over to you, Marcus.
Thank you so much, Sandy, for being such a wonderful co-host and helping open up this container, as we didn't get to be with you guys last week. I actually had I'm just going to call it divine intervention, because as much as I want to try to make it a bad thing or a negative thing, it's just not in my bones to do so. But we had a divine intervention last week where myself and my partner, my queen, we were in Minnesota. I live in Ohio. And I was at a festival that weekend, 2 weekends ago. And I was serving a alchemy sound healing as well as a holistic addiction healing workshop. So I was teaching people about addiction, but from a holistic and multidimensional standpoint, helping people become more accountable, more aware, and more present with their mind, body, emotions, and acknowledging how our electromagnetic field and our energy cords entangle and then into patterns and into addictive behaviors. So of course it's a lot deeper than that, but that was the gist of it. And our timing belt broke in our van on our way out from the festival. So we were in Minnesota for a couple days extra, and that's why we weren't able to join you guys last week on Wednesday for episode 67. But with that being said, we are here today for episode 67, and I got a little bit of sound medicine for us. I have the third eye chakra bowl right here. So I'm going to help us with stimulating our third eye, help bring some mental clarity, some soothing, as well as any downloads and intuitive awakening within our mind as well. This will be a great way to kind of set the tone, bring us into a peaceful and more clear vibration as we go into this container and download this sacred knowledge today. So feel free to get comfortable, sit, lay down if you feel, or if you're standing, that's okay too. It's all sound, it's all frequency. Just allow yourself to mentally be open and to know that you are receiving third eye chakra frequencies. You may focus on your breath as well while I play this to help with integrating the third eye frequencies. Just take a moment to take a deep breath through the body and to just feel the frequencies and the stimulation of the third eye. Take as many breaths as you feel, and just remember to consciously breathe throughout your day. Hydrate as well. Hydration check for everybody. Clean water. So with that, that's a great way to definitely open us up and get us ready with our mind's eye nice and open and clear for these downloads from Ra, as we allow this wonderful 6 density complex of the law of one to channel through our beings today. Back to you, Sandy.
6 density complex. Do you know that for approximately more than 14,000 years, the 6 density complex and many others like them have been overseen and coming to the aid of us recalling. We think that it's something new in our awakening, in our 20th century fascination with quote unquote spirituality. But they've been doing it since humanity has been on this planet. They walk with us every day vibrationally. The divine wants you to know that the divine walks with you every day vibrationally through your spiritual guides, your ancestors. A lot of your ancestors have chosen not to move on and have another vibrational experience, but to guide you through. They're there with you. They're giving you signs all the time. And the divine wants me to tell you that our concept and our innate predisposition with death keeps us in the death process instead of in the transitional process, so that you can see them and feel them and be with them now. They haven't did anything different. The only difference that they've done is they transform. They're just in a different format. Think of your TV. You went from black and white TV only to color, and I'm taking you through a process because I'm 60 something. Okay, and we went through all the processes of the TVs being created, being smarter, getting bigger, having more depth, having more better contrast. You could see it in 4D, so you can literally see up an actor's nose. It's the same process. Death is just a transition. And if you want to be closer to your ancestors and your family, sit at the seat of your soul and ask, how have they transitioned and what does this mean for me? Because many, and I'm taking it really slow because the divine is giving this to me. It's for someone who is either going to be, I believe, going to be in the replay, and you're dealing with death right now, and you're so caught up in it being final that it's not final. It's a transition. This is what Ra is trying to expose us to, that everything is transitional, everything is going to change, and you just see it in a different format. If anyone has watched the second movie, Moana, her grandmother comes back to her in the form of a a mantis or a stingray, gives her a hug and says, we're here, just a little bit different. Ra is here, just a little bit different. Ra, the sixth density complex, Ra, 14,000 years ago, 14,000 years ago, decided that they were not going to put foot on Earth planet plane. They decided, they did that the first time. They weren't going to be pulled down with that third density vibration, that they could do what they could do from their mind, their sixth density complex consciousness, so that they could do this and still have a spiritual and educational impact for us. And impact doesn't mean they're making you do anything. They're giving you many options. i.e., that's how 5 books got written. I'm not saying that this higher density complex wrote 5, channeled 5 books. There are many other higher complexes that are channeling books as well. All Ra is saying is, here is one of many possibilities of your growth and your shifting and your evolution. We're handing you the playbook. We're giving you all the cheat codes. You get to choose. You get to decide. We're telling you that death is not final. It's a transition. But we're allowing you to make a choice. If physically it feels more comfortable to be in depression about missing your loved one or not having your loved one here, go ahead and do that. It's a choice. But we're just telling you that they transitioned and they want you to now be in a different vibration so that they can experience you in this mode, in this vibration. But get this, it's your choice. Your oversoul just gave you the platform or the show that they wanted to be part of. They said, I want to be part of what is being informed and not being informed. I want to be part of that. They said, I want to be part of destiny or death or resurrection or abundance or lack, envy or love, strife. And then we, body, mind, and soul, gets to paint the picture for them. That's all Ra is saying. So let us begin. Are we ready? I'm ready. The questioner says, let me remove my bookmark. That would be good. The questioner says, the entire scenario for the next 20 years seems to be aimed at producing an increase in seeking and an increase in awareness of the natural creation, but also a terrific amount of confusion. Was it the pre-incarnative object of many of the wanderers to attempt to reduce this confusion? I am Ra. It was the aim of wanderers to serve the entities of this planet in whatever way was required. And it was also the aim of the wanderers that their vibratorially patterns might lighten the planet vibrational as a whole. The divine wants me to read that again and slow my roll. It was the aim of wanderers to serve the entities of this planet in whatever way was requested. And it was also the aim of wanderers that the vibratory patterns might lighten the planetary vibration as a whole, thus ameliorating the effects of planetary disharmony and palliating any results of disharmony. And the divine wants me to spell the two words that Ra used, simply because I've never used these two words in any of my vocabulary in my 60 years. Okay? The first word, ameliortating, AMELIORTING. And I hope when you read books, if there are words that you do not understand, go ahead and look them up in the Webster's, or go online and look them up there, right? Palliating, PALLIATING. Ross says, specific intentions such as aiding in a situation not yet manifested are not the aim of wanderers. Light and love go where they are sought and needed, and their direction is not planned aforetime. They didn't plan it. They just go where the vibration is needed. The questioner says, then each of the wanderers here acts as a function of the base. Each of the wanderers acts as a function of the biases. I'm sorry. That's why the divine stopped me. The biases he or she has developed in any way he or she sees fit to communicate or simply be in his or her polarity to aid the total consciousness of the planet. Is there any physical way in which he or she aids, perhaps by his or her vibrations, somehow just adding to the planet, just as electrical polarity or charging a battery? Does that also aid the planet? Just the physical presence of the wanderers? I am Ra. This is correct. The mechanism is precisely as you stated. We intended this meaning in the second portion of our previous answer. You may at this time note that as with many entities, each wanderer has its unique abilities, biases, and specialities. So that from each portion of each density represented among the wanderers comes an array of pre-incarnative talents, which then may be expressed upon this plane which you now experience, so that each wanderer, in offering itself before incarnation, has some special service to offer in addition to the doubling effect of planetary love and light and the basic function of serving as beacons or shepherds. Ra goes on to say, thus, there are those of fifth density whose ability to express wisdom is great. There are fourth and sixth density wanderers whose abilities serve as, shall we say, passive radiators or broadcasters of love and love/light are immense and immense. There are many others whose talents brought into this density are quite varied. Thus, wanderers have three basic functions once the forgetting is penetrated. The first to be basic. Being basic. Forgive me. The territory notoriety, forgive me, one being unique to the particular mind, body, spirit complex. We may note that at this point, while you ponder the possibility/probability vortexes, that also you have many, comma, wants you to pause with that one, many items which cause distress, and thus offering seeking and service opportunities. There is always one container in the store of peace, love, light, and joy. This vortex may be very small, but to turn one's back upon it is to forget the infinite possibility of the present moment. Could your planet polarize towards harmony in one fine, strong moment of inspiration? With a question mark. Yes, my friends, it is not probable, but it is ever possible. Wanderers, even if you want to call yourself that, you awoken to a purpose. It's part of your know thyself. Your know thyself. You have to go in deep to find out why you came as a wanderer. You came to raise the vibration. How did you come to do that? One size does not fit all. And one person awakening to being a wanderer does not make you better than anybody else, especially for those who have not awoken to the recall, to the remembering. You start to recall why your soul decided to turn around and not go back to merge with the divine, and decided that whatever you want to call your oversoul, turned around and came back and said, I'm going back to third density because I hear the call. I want to serve. The divine says that most of us forget that our higher beings have a free will too. They chose to come to third density. They chose it. You may sit there and go, well, I wouldn't have chose to come in, but you did. You were given that opportunity. You may not like it. It may not feel good to you. You may have chose to awaken and then go back to sleep. Because you'd rather be unconscious, what you believe unconscious to living. Not unconscious living, unaware that you're responsible for how you're living or what you're creating. And guess what? Going back to sleep or not acting upon why you're awakened, quote unquote, is okay. It's a choice. It's a free will choice. But know this, that our planet, the human beings on our planet, can polarize to harmony. We can polarize to be inspired, to give love and joy and peace. We can shift and evolve. That's what we came here to do. But guess what? It's also our choice not to. Over to you, Marcus.
Ooh, man. It kind of reminds me of a series. And the series that you're talking about, or that I'm thinking of based off of what you're talking about, it it reminds me of somebody. and I have to remember who exactly. But it reminds me of someone very familiar too. And I think she I think she hosts this podcast on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. And I think her name is Sandy M. And this podcast that's on Tuesdays, it's a little bit about embodying the universal laws. And if you're someone that would really like to deep dive into some of the individual universal laws that Sandy's actually talking about in this moment as well, tap in on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, because Sandy goes live and she talks about these universal laws individually and how we can come into a conscious relationship with it and embody it in our everyday life. And I gotta say, this last episode, she mentioned it a little bit, that happened on Tuesday yesterday. The law of cause and effect. It's such an amazing topic, because this also relates to karma. And we oftentimes think and feel and believe that whatever we want to think and say when it comes to another person of free will, then that means that's going to happen for them or happen to them just because we say it or just because we believe it will. And what we find out through the law of cause and effect is that the cause and effect is personal to your individual sovereignty and your free will. And what you use with your energy is for you to receive back, because it is a continuous system of giving and receiving through your being. So even if someone, quote unquote, does you dirty or does anything negative towards you, think about this from a energy and vibration standpoint, not a physical standpoint. So they give out this energy and it ripples, and it's very low frequency and it's distorted and things of that nature. And then that comes into your energy field and interacts with you. You get hit by it, it hurts your heart, or it makes you confused, whatever it may be. But then, remember, this is energy and vibration, not physical, that we're talking about. So then it comes to you, and then it's reverberating in your energy field. So now we still have the free will choice. Do we give that same kind of frequency back, which actually amplifies more of that energy that is now in our field? Or do we step back into our feminine, and do we surrender to the higher power, surrender to something that will allow this to clear and to pass? So then if we go into that surrender state, then there's the potential where instead of feeding into that vibration and amplifying it more because you're giving more of that frequency, it then can fade out. It can dissipate. It can just nullify more easier, because we are choosing not to give more of the vibration that would amplify that vibration. So that's why when we just take that step back, we remove ourselves from that place or from that person's life or whatever it may be, we'll notice that the more that we concentrate on our own self, our own pureness, our own love, the things that we love in our life and that we want to continue to bring positivity to, then what you'll notice is that those frequencies, just like when it comes to cancer in the body, they say that cancer can't even survive, or it can't even be present in an alkaline being, because you're no longer in a frequency that even attracts or even magnetize and allows that frequency to come into your field. So there may be projections still, but what will happen is those projections, they'll basically hit an energetic wall when it gets to your aura. And then you'll feel it on the outside of your aura. You won't be consumed by it. And then typically what will happen is, and we're not really taught this stuff, so there's no expectation for us to fully understand this stuff right away. But typically from my own experiences, what I felt is that I'll feel the energy trying to come into my aura, and then I'll have a mental processing that I can choose. And it's a very split moment kind of thing, though. You got to be really present. That's why it's key to be present. And when I feel it, I get that choice of, oh, do I mentally allow myself to believe that this is about to take over? Do I mentally believe that this energy is too much? Do I mentally believe that this energy is going to hurt me or affect me? Or am I mentally believing, this energy isn't for me. I'm not going to absorb it. I'm just going to allow it to pass. Or you can say that you do not consent to this energy being in your field. May it return back to sender, or may it return back to source, whatever it may be, resonant to you. But you have that free will choice in those split moments. And yes, of course, it's very split. So it's like a very sensitive moment. But the fact is that we do. And when we make those conscious choices, we can then direct our emotions, and then we can direct our physical nature to follow that. And if you don't want something to be in your field, if you command it and you really place that through your mentalism, your emotions and body will follow that. And then you will naturally do the things that you need to make sure that that's not happening for you. So that's the power of our free will. We all have free will here on this planet, and we all have a consciousness, whether we are more unconscious than another or more conscious than another, that's all subjective. But the point is that you do have free will, and you do have a conscious choice. So with that being said, just be wary of the moments where you give away that, the moments where you kind of tell yourself an excuse that you don't. And remember that you can always circle it back to yourself, and that you have that free will to choose whether you want to consent to something or somebody, or if you would like to go into a different space or communicate a boundary that is necessary while we're out here in this free will planet. And with that, it's also stepping into your sovereign power, remembering that there is nothing above you and there is nothing below you, but you are the source, and everything is a source, and everybody's a source. So with that, there's unconditional love always. And we're all here together as one consciousness, whether I continue to go to your house or I don't go to your house, or if we continue to go to the same events or we don't go to the same events, we're still connected as one. And there doesn't need to be an attachment to feeling like I have to physically be around that person to love them. Unconditional love can be from a distance. It can be physically together. So I just felt called to share that. This accountability is so big in these teachings that Ra is passing down to us in this dimension. And I just couldn't emphasize enough, that accountability and free will. It's not something we can really escape either. It's literally designed within the fabric of the human being, and the human being functions off of free will. So, as I always say about this knowledge, it's better to get to know it than to circle around it and try to avoid what is inevitable about who we are. in this existence. And it's pretty beautiful, powerful, and I mean it's godly like. We truly are the image, the I am. And as I say, you're the temple for the spirit. And we are all designed in the image of the creator and the I am. With that, back to you, Sandy.
All right. With that, I'm going to say it again. All caps. With that, you can be your unique self, no matter where you show up within you. There's no perfection in it. I used to say to myself, I'm perfectly imperfect. Now I just say, I am. I am that I am. Whatever I am that day, that moment. And then I go forth saying or thinking or feeling or having the emotions, allowing myself to have the emotions of who I am, that I am. It might not be perfect for someone else, but I don't have control over what their story or their journey or their choices that their oversoul or their higher being chose to be in. I'm there as a prop, possibly moving through that story, but I'm still in my own story. And just like Marcus said, everybody is going through something that's going to shift them and evolve them. Mine was going through stage 1. That's what they told me when they diagnosed the cancer. I could have took it any way. I could have took it exactly the way they listed, or they gave the information to that part of the story from their books and all their, dealing with everybody. But I took that information and I said, who do I want to be in the story? Well, I want to be the lead. I want to tell the story. I'm the wanderer that came in to learn and give light. How am I going to give light in the story? I didn't deny my body. My body was telling the story. Hey, there's some pockets of calcification tissue. It's showing up as what they're listing or naming. And what am I going to do now? My story said, well, the reason why this is happening is because you have been embodying, helping people merge from modern medicine into holistic medicine and merging the two. That they don't have to choose one over the other. That they can merge the two because they're same energy. It comes from the same source. It's just a different choice. So that's why there are individuals that come as wanderers to offer you opportunity for choice so that you can use your free will. That's all Ra is saying. There are many wanderers that are coming with individual, unique ways of presenting to you an opportunity for you, a situation, a circumstance for you, a different tool for you to create. That's all. And that's more. You go, that's all. Put a period there. That's all. No. And then there's more. My story didn't finish with me. I met so many. I was there to give people a smile. Some of them I just gave a smile, and every day when I walked in, I would smile. And some would say, you know what, your smile lit me up. I didn't even know their names. And there were some there that at the end of my radiation treatment, and they did not know what I was going in and doing as I was alchemizing that energy. But when I finished and I rung that bell, they were there to hand me flowers and to give me hugs. I didn't know them. But at that moment in time, we knew each other. I was there for purpose, for growth. I was there to learn how to alchemize because I want to teach it. Well, this is what my oversoul and my higher soul said. Well, you've come here. It's not about me calling myself a wanderer. I think we're into labels and calling ourselves a wanderer or reptilian or Allurian or whatever the other titles. That's really right now what we're centered in is where our oversoul and our soul beingness came from. But the thing is that we are body, mind, and soul, and we came here to experience the humanness of third density and be all three. So I had to experience the body. I chose to experience the radiation, and I chose to alchemize it. And I chose to experience holistic medicine. To take my sours off, to learn more about that, to take my noni leather strip product, to drink my alkaline water, and to take on different things for my body. It might not work for yours, but I know that I can suggest it because I've done it. I'm doing it. I can only suggest it. Will it work for you? I don't know. Because your energy, your intention plus your energy equals whatever you create for yourself. That's all Ra is saying. And if you want to know more about the law of cause and effect, because you are not a product of anything life happening to you, you are a product of life happening because of you and your choices. Visit my YouTube page and visit Soul Awakening Podcast, Embodying the Universal Laws. That was the sixth law, the law of cause and effect, otherwise known as karma. It's very personal. It's about you. It's not a bitch. And it's certainly not your bully that goes to take care of people who do you dirty. It's very personal. I guarantee if anybody is putting out the energy to do you dirty, the law of cause and effect is dealing with them. They don't need our orchestration on how to deal with it. Go check it out. Are we ready for the next question? I am. The questioner says, how common in the universe is a mixed harvest from a planet of both positively and negatively oriented body, mind, spirit complexes? I am Ra. Among planetary harvests, which yields a harvest of mind, body, spirit complexes, approximately 10% are negative, approximately 60% are positive, and approximately 30% are mixed, which nearly all harvests being positive. In the event of mixed harvest, it is almost unknown for the majority of the harvest to be negative. When a planet moves strongly towards the negative, there is almost no opportunity for harvestable positive polarization. The questioner asks, can you tell me why there is almost no opportunity in that case? Ra says, the ability to polarize positively requires a certain degree of self-determination. The questioner says, then are these final days of the cycle transpire if, and take my time, turning the page, if harvest were to occur now, today? It would have a certain number harvested positively and negatively, and a certain number of repeaters. I am going to assume that because of the catalyst that will experience between now and the actual harvesting time, these numbers of harvestable entities will increase. Generally speaking, not particularly with respect to this planet, but with respect to general experience in harvesting. How big an increase in harvestable entities can you logically assume will occur because of the catalyst that occurs in the final period, such as this one? Or am I making a mistake in assuming that other planets have added catalysts at the end of a harvesting period when they have a mixed harvest? I am Ra. In the event of mixed harvest, there is nearly always disharmony, and therefore added catalyst in the form of your so-called earth changes is the assumption you are correct. In this assumption, you are correct. It is the Federation's desire to serve those who may indeed seek more intensely because of this added catalyst. We do not choose to attempt to project the success of added numbers to the harvest for the harvest, for this is not appropriate. We are servants. We are called, and we shall serve with all our strength. To count the number is without virtue. To count the number is without virtue. That's not what we've come to do. We've come to serve. We've come to give you information. You're asking for information. We're giving you numbers and percentages based on your language as best we can, without usurping your or planetary free will. The questioner says, now the added catalyst at the end of the cycle is a function specifically of the orientation of the consciousness that inhabits the planet. The consciousness has provided the catalyst for itself in orientating its thinking in the way it has orientated it, thus acting upon itself the same as catalysts of body pain and disease act upon the single mind body spirit complex. I made this analogy once before, but reiterated it at this time to clarify my own thinking in seeing the planetary entity as somewhat of a single entity made up of billions of mind-body complexes. Is my viewpoint correct? I am Ra. You are correct. The divine wants me to go back to you, Marcus. Whoa.
I'd like to take a moment and pull a card for us. out of the Magical Dimensions Oracle deck. This is a beautiful deck. It has angelic cards, it has Fae cards, it has elemental, galactic, and chakra cards.
What I wish I knew at my first retreat instead of my 10th. It's not just about healing, it's about finding your soul family. This August, you have a sacred invitation right outside Cincinnati. Imagine this: 2 days away from the noise and rush, camping beside a peaceful river surrounded by people who just get you. The Lion's Gate 8/8 retreat is your chance to explore who you truly are. Guided by Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light and special guest Sadhanam Singh. You'll dive deep into the mystery of the Lion's Gate portal, discover your connection to Star Home Sirius and the ancient Giza pyramids, and even build your own Egyptian chakra totem, a practice you won't find anywhere else. Ever wondered about your starseed origins? Get ready for the Akashic Soul Origin Meditation Therapy session. A journey within that might just change how you see yourself forever. There's more. Gong baths to shake off old energy, cacao ceremony to open your heart, an ecstatic dance to set your spirit free, all led by Sadhanam. Between sessions, enjoy delicious plant-based meals and the magic of nature all around you. This retreat is about more than healing. It's about real connection, feeling safe to be yourself, and growing together as a conscious community. Join us August 8th and 9th. Tickets are $77 for one day or $122 for both. Meals, camping, and cosmic vibes included. Ready to step into your light? Reserve your spot with the link below and text Marcus at 513-238-5580 if you have questions. Your journey begins now.
Here is our card for this space, and it is Utopia. Got some dolphins, some beautiful water. Then we have this like kind of like a crystal kingdom, and it's got a Merkaba on top of it. It's like a plasmic crystalline Merkaba. And if anybody's curious about that Lionsgate retreat, you can still sign up until Friday on 8/8. So just reach out if you have questions and if you would like to participate and be a part of the opportunity. But our card for this space is Utopia, and it represents peace, serenity, and paradise. So, oof, man, peace, serenity, and paradise. Where to really begin with that? Well, I just want to add this in relation to this topic that we have been really traveling through today when it comes to this raw material. You know, accountability, our sovereignty, our free will. These are all different elements that can contribute to the level of peace and serenity that we are experiencing. Are we consciously being present with the decisions that we are making, the positions that we are putting ourselves in, the interactions that we are having? Are we being aware that everybody else has free will and that they're also an image of the I am? And with that, there's unconditional love, and we're always connected as one, no matter what contrasts or no matter what experiences we go through. And it's okay to be long distant. It's okay to be physically next to someone. They're both equal when it comes to the amount of level of care that the universe has. It's either way, and it's all okay. It's not good or bad either way. It's just about the energy. Is energy healthy for you? Or is the energy unhealthy for you? And then that's based upon your own personal analysis for your own self. Not really to determine for another, as they got determined for their own self if something is healthy or not healthy for them. Now, yeah, they could be literally damaging their self, but it's their free will. And if they say that them damaging their body is what makes them feel good, then it is what it is, because that's their free will. And it's their perception of their reality. So with that kind of acceptance from within your own self, mentally and emotionally, that can help you have more of your own inner utopia, where you're at peace more, you have more serenity, because we're in a big old game, a universal game of experience, temporary moments, going through contrast. And with that, we're actually all celebrating this life together. Even at times where it seems like we're not celebrating it, our higher perspectives are up there enjoying everything that we're going through, whether it's positive, negative. It's all an experience to the higher self. And it's an experience that's temporary of the infinity that we get to continue to be as energy. So with that, I just want to remind us as well, what's keeping us out of our peace right now in this moment or lately in our life? What has been keeping us from feeling that inner utopia, that clear connection to the divine source, that being in this existence and even like being able to assimilate this whole entire mind body emotion complex that we are occupying, and then even having an individual identity to be a sovereign being with, while also being connected as one universally, is such a blessing. So are we focusing on that at all in our everyday life? Are we waking up and giving that gratitude? Are we, going to bed with that kind of gratitude? Are we having any moments at all during the day where we're giving gratitude? We surprised times that we haven't, and we've just focused on the negativity. We focus on the pain, the suffering, what's going on in the world, the politics, our family members, what she said and he said back at the club, all those kind of things. And it's all free will. Where are you focusing? And what I find so fascinating is that there's always the opportunity for the present. There's not a moment where the present is not available. And that right there, wow. The present is always available. And it's just our choice to be present in the present. Whew. Let me give a little strike of the bull for that one. Una shi ne
Nothing like
utumata e
present.
akutunate.
Nothing like being present in your now moment. It's the most difficult thing we do is to stay present, because the story has been handed down for so long that it's really kind of ingrained in our DNA to be focused on our past or focused on our future. there's nothing wrong with it being part of your DNA. It's just somebody else told the story so long that for generations it moved forward until it's there within you. But you get to change your DNA. You're an alchemist. You get to change that story. It's nothing but energy. And it's okay to be focused in the now and not in your past, or focused in the now and not in your future, or focused in the now and not not outside. It's okay to learn a little bit about what's going on politically or what's going on in another part of the world, and then make a decision how it's going to affect you in your now. Or if you're going to let it dictate to you how you're going to live your life. It's all right. You can let it dictate to you that you're going to live your life in fear. That's a choice. That's a free will choice. Or are you going to show the universe how you want peace to flow so that you see more peace moving through everything that you're seeing in your outside world? You get to make that choice. That's what they're talking about when the wanderers come and they bring their energy and their love, light, and light love. And they hold space not only for us, the humans that are experiencing this third density, but Earth consciousness that allowed herself to have us be on a Earth plane and Earth body and experience this. She's experiencing it with us. She's a consciousness that said, I want to shift and expand, and I want everyone and from everywhere, from every galaxy and every dimension to come play with me. I don't care how you tell the story. You're going to eventually, through your free will, have a moment of recalling. And when you recall, you'll remember the expression of Earth consciousness and the divine. And oh, what a day. You get to sing that song. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. You get to sing that song through your awakening for you, not for someone else. That's all Ra is saying. You want to label yourself a wanderer. Well, what does wanderer mean for you? Go within. Like Marcus has said, seek thyself, know thyself from inside out. This is why Ra is allowing the questioner to ask them questions. It's to seek not only the questioner's self, because he asks a lot of questions that he wants to be aware of and know more about. And then he asks some questions that he gets from others that have said, would you please ask this? This is why the body that's allowing the channel to happen, why she's allowing it to happen. So we get to understand and we get to ask questions and we get to have a little bit of the cheat codes, and then we get to go decide on our own what works for our highest and greatest good. One size, like Marcus says, does not fit all. So if you've labeled yourself and you know that you know that you know that the I am, that I am in you is a wanderer, what does it look like for you? What does it feel like for you? How are you processing it? And how are you then giving the law of cause and effect and receiving? You're a wanderer. You came back for service to what? Service to others or service to self? Some wanderers came back to integrate into service to self. They didn't get to feel the polarity, the negative, that negative polarity, and they wanted to. They were not. The divine said, "Go ahead." This is what Ra is saying. It depends on what the wanderer came back to do, what they're recalling that they came back to not just integrate, but to give and to give out and receive back. Your oversoul said, "I want to experience this." So it's looking to us to give it explanation. When you're feeling something, if you bury it down, then your oversoul, your higher being, doesn't get a chance to know why you're feeling that way. You weren't meant to experience things. Everything was meant to be formed, dissipate, or go away, or you get to surrender it back to the divine and learn something else. It wasn't made to be forever. You weren't made to be in depression forever. You maybe were given the opportunity to experience it. But Ra is saying it should have been a blink of an eye. Your higher self wanted to. What did that feel like? Ooh, what was that? And then you get to define it. That was depression, and I didn't like it. It didn't feel good. And your higher self, or your soul self, connected with your higher being and the infinite that you are, is going to say, "Okay, next. Surrender that. We're done." And I know it sounds easy breezy, but it can be that easy, or it can be difficult. It just depends on where you are in your journey, where you are in your growth and your expansion, where you are in taking in information and applying it. Are you taking in information and judging it? Are you taking in information and discerning it and then applying it in your now moment? Because you cannot change your past. Your past was a now moment that is now fixed and available to you in reruns so that you can learn from it. It's your choice whether you want to get stuck in there, and you get stuck because you can't change anything there. It's meant to be a replay. Your now moment is the only thing that is not dense and malleable, that you can change. Once you change it in your now moment and actually act in it in your now moment, that becomes a future moment that has presented itself. Your future is like that when it's in your now. I'll read one more question if we have time. Do we have time, Marcus? Let me know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Definitely. Okay. The questioner says, then we deal with an entity that has not yet formed a social memory, but is yet an entity, just as one of us can be called a single entity. Can we continue this observation of the conglomerate entity through the galactic entity, or shall I say planetary system type of entity? Let me try to phrase that, to phrase it this way. Could I look at a single sun in its planetary system as an entity, and then look at a major galaxy with its billions of stars as an entity? Can I continue this extrapolation in this way? I am raw. You can, but not within the framework of third density space/time. Let us attempt to speak upon this interesting subject. In your space-time, you and your peoples are the parents of that which is in the womb. The earth, as you call it, is ready to be born, and delivery is not going to be smoothly, or not going smoothly. When this entity has become born, it will be instinct with the social memory complex of its parents, which have become fourth density positive. In this density, there is a broader view. You may begin to see your relationship to the logos or sun with which you are most intimately associated with. This is not the relationship of parent to child, but of creator, that is logos. A creator that is the mind, body, spirit complex as logos. When this realization occurs, you may then widen the field of eyeshot, if you will, infinitely recognizing parts of the logos throughout the one infinite creation, and feeling with the roots of mind informing the institution, the parents aiding their planets in evolution, in reaches vast and unknown in the creation. For this process occurs many, many times in the evolution of the creation as whole. As whole. Earth consciousness is a logos, a conscious logos. And if you want to look at us, the human beings, that it birthed or is birthing, we're sublogoses. But we're creators. That's what a logos is. Earth consciousness said, I want to shift and evolve with energy as I use it, as I've been using it in formless, and I want to do it with a form body. And the divine itself said, I see this. Let's do it. And Earth consciousness said, okay, well, I, the logos, is going to create more logos so I can have someone to play with, be part of my experience as form body. Earth, you can call it planet Earth or Earth plane, whatever you choose. And here we are. Now, Earth conscious and her body have already moved from third density to fourth density, and from fourth density to fifth density. And Earth consciousness is waiting for us to catch up. We don't have to die to do it, though we can. Most of us do. But some of us realize that even though we're in this third density condition, the outside world, that we start consciously seeing it through fourth density consciousness, or even fifth density. It's growth. It's evolution. It's shifting. It's part of the experience. It's cause and effect, continuously happening. Doesn't matter if you don't believe in it or not. It's still going to happen. But if you don't believe in it, you're choosing that that's your story, then it's going to do it behind the scenes, because it was created as energy, right? Or the energy created that. Energy has never been created, nor can it be destroyed, but energy has been given a story to constantly listen and create for us, regardless if we believe it, regardless if we play with it. It is always turned on, and you are always tuned into it. You are a receiver, and you are a transmitter, whether you believe it or not. Over to you, Marcus.
You are the receiver. And projector. And I am. Man. What a beautiful flow in this episode today. Time just skidded by. Didn't even feel like we were even in time the way that we were flowing. And I definitely know there's some takeaways that are very present in my mind, despite not feeling any time. And I trust that each and every one of us received exactly what we needed to in this moment. And I'm just really grateful for this moment, grateful to be able to share this space and such sacred knowledge of self. And yeah, life has just been such a beautiful thing. I just have been boundless with the amount of blessings that I have just felt in my being between all the retreats and all of the space holding and one-on-one healing and podcasts and other beautiful interactions I've been blessed to be able to have the opportunity of. And I really feel it. I really feel, the gift of life, and just being able to be a vehicle or a vessel, and to be able to remember in any kind of fashion just the connection of who I am, and knowing that also there are things in place, especially after studying the raw material, studying the Ascended Masters and the time matrix that we're in. There's so many things in place that keep things in the law of one. And when you get to know that, it circles back to this card, Utopia. You enter that utopia within yourself, that this is the playground for your soul, as Sandy says. And with that, we have our free will. And even when something happens, guess what? It's another free will moment. And that we get to choose as the alchemist. What's our reaction, What's our relationship to this energy that I'm experiencing? Am I identifying with it? Or am I just identifying and then letting go? Or am I just experiencing it with detachment? There's many variants that we could go through, and that we do go through as the human being. And that includes each and every one of us, including myself. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to give ourselves grace. To give ourselves grace in these journeys when we realize this, because we're meant to go through the contrast. We came here, and we came into a place that we had an awareness of, and what it entails and what it takes to walk in these shoes as a human being. So I just want to close this out with love, and I want to send love to everybody and gratitude for sharing this journey. And what I mean by this journey is not just this podcast series, but this existence together. Because without you, without me, without Sandy, without AI and technology, without Mama Earth, without everything that's in existence, whether it's a high or low contrast, it allows everything else to be and to be able to have its place. So with that, I give gratitude to the all, and I'm grateful. Back to you.
As we close, I'd like to say growth and expansion is a gift. It's just a free will gift from the Creator seeking itself. Take it or leave it. You decide what polarities you want to play in. No wrong or right to them outside of third density with the Creator. The right or wrong within third density is how we learn. So learn. If you don't like the way something feels, go ahead and say it. And then tap into yourself and say, why don't I like this? And break it down to you. What would I want instead of this? To show the divine or the energy that is seeking creation from you, you get to give it a new direction. You don't like the energy that got created from something that you were thinking about when you weren't consciously aware that you were thinking about it and that it got created. But now you know. Don't spend so much time judging yourself. Go find out. Why do I feel bad about this? Why does it make me feel unworthy? And then create a new story. Give the energy new direction. It's okay. Because this is where this is the learning ground. This is the playground. You don't ever have to go into the brick and mortar school. We're meant to learn in the playground. And there's all areas of play that our higher beings have chosen to come play in. And we, the body, is the car that we're taking our higher being, saying, okay, you want to go here? Let's go here. You want to do this? Here we are. Oh, wait, you want to go left? Here you are. But when you get there, your mind, your conscious mind, or your aware mind, if you're saying you're having these awakenings, it means that you're awakened to being aware that you get to make choices. And then the choices that you made when you weren't quote unquote aware, you get to go, okay, we're going to change it. First, we got to go change these. We're going to take all the stuff that we piled on top of it, and we're going to feel it. Oh yeah, we got to feel it. No, it's not going to feel great, but we're going to feel it anyway. And then we're only meant to feel that for a minute. It's only meant to last for a minute. Okay. And then we get to tell our higher being why we felt that way, why we don't want it anymore. And our higher being gets to say, good, we felt that. Next. So you get to surrender that. And you get to go, your higher being says, well, what do we want instead of that? We want a little bit of joy. What does joy look like in the physical form? I know what it looks like in the spiritual vibration of the galaxy that I've been playing in. What does it look like in Earth on Earth density 3D? Show me. And then you get to show your higher being what it looks like. Oh, let's do that. Where do we go play with that? Oh, okay, you ready to go? Get in. Here we are. This is joy. Right? I mean, you're the vehicle. You have a conscious and an unconscious, a little space that all the information is stored and pushed down. You have a overseer of that unconscious called your egoic self that thinks it's your personality. It can't have an ego death because it's energy. It's part of you. So what do we need to do with that? We need to integrate it into learning something new. We have to tell ourselves, that personality of ourselves, take your hand off of those planks. I'm pulling that up. I'm throwing it, going to go ahead, and we're going to feel it. This is all Ra is saying. You are the logos. You are the creator of the story. It's okay to be the creator. I know most people don't want to hear it. That it must be blasphemy to say that you're God. But you're God in the expression of form in earth density, seeking itself. Go play. And if you're having a problem with that, seek me out. Instagram at Soulawakening.com. YouTube, Soul Awakening with Sandra. Oh, I said it wrong. Soul Awakening with Sandra all the way through. If you need some more inspiration and information, seek me out on Spotify. Soul Conversation with Sandra. You can even check out my TikTok. I'm not saying I'm a know-it-all. I'm not. I'm still learning. But you can come learn with me. And then take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And go be the creator of your own story. Thank you for being part of Ascending with Beyond Limitations. We'll see you raw time and raw day. The same raw time and the same raw day. Just like Batman says. I grew up with the original Batman. The same bat time, same bat day. All right? Thank you, thank you, thank you for being part of this experience. In live time or replay, you are always appreciated.
Wholeness and balanced love, everybody.
Your outer world is the reflection of your inner world, and vice versa. It all begins with you. So join me, Sandy M., at Soul Awakening Podcast every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we'll merge embodiment with the universal laws and make them work for us. Join me live on YouTube at Soul Awakening with Sandra. Our first law is the law of one, or oneness. See you there.